Hello everyone, Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for Big Game number 5. This is the conclusion of the biggest event of the summer in comic books. Let's take a look at the creative team here. This is written by Mark Millar, with art by Pepe Larraz, Giovanna Niro on colors, letters by Clem Robbins. Uh, in this issue, we have the mini series finale. This is it, the double length conclusion of the best company crossover in years. We've seen all the beloved Millarworld characters together for the first time and watched as Nemesis murder them one by one. But there is one small thread of hope somewhere he's forgotten about. This book is a must for fans of Kick Ass, Kingsman, The Magic Order, Nemesis, and all your Millarworld favorites. Um, it truly is. It truly is. I think so. I have read a lot of the Miller World properties. I'm a big fan of Mark Millar. I'm a big fan of Pepe Larraz. I think they are just working on an homage. This is kind of like a love letter to the world that Mark Millar has built out over all these years in comics, which leads to the biggest crossover event of like all these properties that you probably wouldn't even thought that they could have been connected at some point, but here we are. And after the first four super grim issues, we end with probably the most beautiful, just yeah, this is just kind of the swan song of all these, or the combination of all these efforts. It's really cool. I think, like the synopsis read, if you're a fan of Kick-Ass, you're gonna be very excited for this. There were such beautiful. There was, of course, there's a lot of really cool action. There's a lot of like violence. There's a lot of really cool cameos and appearances. The one thing I was not expecting was like this heartbreaking moment, or like this really beautiful moment for Kick-Ass, and I was floored when I got to that page. I just kind of had to stop and put down the book and like think about like all the Kick-Ass stuff that I've seen, and by that I mean the character, not just like Kick-Ass comics. Um, it is amazing. It is amazing, and just when you think the book is done with you, it continues, and it gives you. Uh, I think I want to go back and check. There's a list that we'll look at the end of the video. I just want to go back and check and kind of highlight, like, do a little checklist of like, oh, here's the mention of this character. Here's the mention of all these characters, because just when I thought they were done, they gave me one more from one that I really, really loved, and it had been something I hadn't even thought about that it could be part of this. So, really cool stuff. Now, let's talk about why Pepe Larraz is the perfect artist for this. Pepe Larraz is probably one of the best artists working in comics, and just what an amazing job that he's done here. In addition to Giovanna Nero's colors, like, it is beautiful. It's a amazing color palette. I love how dreadful everything looks in these first opening pages, as we have here Diabolus just coming in from the past. They were able to use that time travel technology from the last episode with a dead chrono. We'll talk about that in a second. And now they've come to confront the present, which is, it is crazy. It is amazing. And it leads to some of the most, like, just the coolest stuff that you've ever seen. Now, of course, we have Hit Girl kind of coming through in the end, and I just really love like how much stuff there is happening. We have the Chrononauts, we have Prodigy. We also have some hilarious joke of like, here, because they're using his dead body in order to, they're using his dead body in order to like time travel. And he's like, couldn't even put a bag over my head or anything. So yeah, this last issue was insane. Definitely worth the money to put in. I think this is gonna be a really fun collection. I'll definitely talk more about this when the collection comes out. I can't wait to see what that's gonna look like. But man, as far as like just superhero comic book stuff, this is some of the coolest things I've ever read. Just up there. And like I said, I don't think you need to be super deep into the Miller World lore, but it definitely will add a lot to your experience. So yeah, I don't know what else to tell you except that at the back of the book, we have a really cool thing. If you want to dive deep into the Miller World series, they've added a reading order, and here you can see pretty much everything that you see on this page it's in some way or form leading up to big game and part of this, which is very, very cool. Like, look at all this work that Millar and the team have, like, with multiple, of course, multiple people that I work with them. I don't know. I'm very excited to kind of go and revisit some of these books. Maybe I'll start from the beginning where it all started with Wanted, uh, and work my way through. I think American Jesus is something I've visited. I've read some Kick Ass. I've read some Superior. So yeah, there's so much cool stuff. Super Crooks is a really, really fun book as well that's turned into an anime over at Netflix. And the list continues, right? Huck, Reborn, Prodigy, just really cool stuff, including some of the more recent stuff like King of Spies, Ambassadors, Nemesis Reloaded, and of course, Big Game. So there you go. If you wanted a reading challenge for 2024, I think you could do really well and just check out the Millarworld reading challenge. So there you have it. I'll definitely be talking more about this when the collection comes out. I might drop a video of all the reviews together as well. We've been doing that, and people seem to enjoy these review compendiums because I reviewed every single issue of this comic, and I love it. So there you have it. If you have read this, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. As always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.